Stocks always catch my attention every week, and I try to bring them to your attention. This week, we will cover an IPO that just kicked off. Quick question. Have any of these stocks from this segment made you any money? Comment down below. NVIDIA's $40 billion takeover of ARM spells trouble for Intel and AMD, and it's from the perspective of artificial intelligence. All right, we deal with $40 billion. The deal won't include ARM's Internet of Things service group, which will be spun off into new units within SoftBank. NVIDIA will pay SoftBank $21 billion. You ever remember when a lot of these buyouts, was big? Wow, they got bought for $2 million. Now look at this. They're getting bought for $21 billion, billion in stock and $12 billion in cash. It's still, so that's like $40 billion. That's a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough right there. That's a lot of dough right there. That's a lot of dough right there. Ooh, we smell ooh wee. That's a lot of dough right there. NVIDIA will issue an additional $1.5 billion in shares to ARM employees, then pay up to $5 billion in cash for command. This deal has been approved by the boards, ARM, and is expected to close within 18 months. Now, here it is. What does ARM do? ARM low power chips design are found in over 95% of the world's smartphones. Ta-da! NVIDIA said, "Oh baby, you remember the Jeffersons when they wanted? We finally got a piece of the pie." NVIDIA is now getting into a bigger piece of the pie when it comes down to the smartphones. All right, a lot of this has to deal with the phone's AI, which is really kind of interesting. Why did NVIDIA buy ARM? ARM's recent growth has been weak, but integrating its operations with NVIDIA could eliminate redundancies, cut costs, and boost its profits. Integrating ARM's full business would boost NVIDIA's annual revenue by over 10%. So that was a good business decision to go for NVIDIA to go do that. So that's why it was one of my stocks of interest. One of the things that we don't do very often, we don't talk about IPOs. All right, but Snowflake is a very interesting cloud-based product backed by Warren Buffett. And this is going outside of what Warren Buffett normally does. Warren Buffett doesn't normally invest in young companies. Warren Buffett is looking for those companies that have been around and are good value plays. Snowflake hasn't proven that they can make money yet. So this is very interesting that Warren Buffett is doing that, and I think a lot of people are saying, well, if Warren Buffett's doing it, we better go do it. That's what they say, right, Joey? How they say it just like that? They say, ooh, we better go out there and get that. Oh, just like that. Did you understand what I just said?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right, so that's very interesting that Warren Buffett backed a new IPO of a company. It raised $4 billion even before selling stakes to Salesforce. And now Salesforce is on board with this cloud-based information. That's a big company that serves. We have Salesforce. It's one of the things that we have. A lot of big companies use that CRM, that contact. What is it? What does CRM mean? Cloud. Do you know what it means? How do you not know what that means, Joey? You're supposed to be my guy that tells me all of this stuff. It's not cash register management. You know what that deserves? It's not cash register management. Anyway, customer relations management, I think that's what it is. Anyway, that's big that Salesforce has jumped on board with it too. So we actually had the stock in our database on the day at IPO. We don't always do that, but that was a big IPO. All right, another one, Zoom. Zoom planning messaging update to take on Slack, which is Work. That's the name of the company, Work. Work, which is a Zoom partner. The update would move Zoom's messaging. Huh?
I feel like you want to sing the Rihanna song.
Work. Why did you even put Rihanna's song in there? I wasn't going to do that.
You said it like 3 times.
Everybody work. Anyway, I don't know why you put that in my head. I really wasn't going to do that. But the update would move Zoom's messaging from basic text interface to a more advanced messaging setup like Work. So put those two together. Zoom has reportedly hired a significant number of engineers to build out a new product, which is likely several months away. So, we do Zoom. for my church, for other things. And we message within the Zoom app, but I'm thinking that moving from a basic text interface to a more advanced messaging, I've never used Work or Slack, however you want to look at it. I've never used it, but putting those two together might not be a bad way. Zoom and Slack have mostly stayed in their own product lanes, but both face competition from, this is what we use here at work, Teams. Do we like Teams? I like Teams. So, yeah. Why don't we use Zoom?
Because we have Teams?
Because we have Teams. Yeah, probably. But Microsoft, which bundles a variety of communication methods under one umbrella. So it looks like putting Zoom and the Work together, they're going after Teams. And again, we like Teams here. We talk to everyone. I think a lot of people at our office here don't even like to talk to each other on the telephone. You know, hello, Joe, are you there? Yeah? Okay. See, we'll do, something. I got Teams on my phone. I got Teams on my iPad. So Joey can get in contact with me by way of Teams whenever without even having to do a video. I don't think you can do that in Zoom. There you go, right? So with Teams, we can chat on Teams without doing a video. I think in Zoom, though, you got to be in the video. So this is what I mean. There you go. DraftKings and the New York Giants Inc. exclusive deal. DraftKings is on the rise, baby. The official sports betting, gaming, and daily fantasy operator for football's New York Giants, giving DraftKings access to official Giants marks and logos. There will also be a first-of-its-kind virtual sports lounge open on Giants game days. Hoo-wee. So you got these two. You got DraftKings. You got FanDuel. I got them both. Am I supposed to tell anybody I got those? Mm-hmm. It's legal, right? As a matter of fact, I should check my DraftKings now. No, I can't do that. All right, but out of 700 sports teams available on DraftKings platform, the Giants rank in the top 40 for most highly bet franchises. Why? I'm a New Yorker, and it's tough to be a Giants fan. Woo-wee. DraftKings had a big day on Tuesday after inking the exclusive deal, and it was up 2%. So DraftKings caught my attention. Oil caught my attention. Why? Oil prices rally as U.S. crude supplies post a weekly decline and Hurricane Sally curtails production. So what is this creating? Type it in the room. What is this creating? Demand. What moves oil? Demand. I need to have a demand thing on here. All right, so maybe I need that.
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
That's right. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Demand is what moves oil. WTI oil futures up by nearly 5%. That was yesterday. So we're going to take a look at that as well. Big thing here. Homebuilders sentiment soars to a record high, but lumber prices raise a red flag. So home builders are like, I want to build homes, but the lumber prices are going up, which is probably increasing the value of trying to build a home. Sort of kind of offsets each other, right? I want to build homes. I want to go. Holy heck, I got to pay that much for lumber? Builder confidence in the market for single-family homes in September increased 5 points to 83 on a monthly NAHB. Anything above 50 is good. The highest reading in the survey's 35-year history, which matches all-time high in August. While housing demand is incredibly strong, builders continue to be dogged by a lack of skilled labor to finish lots. Joe, you want to go build houses? I don't either. I don't want to do that either. But there's a lot of people out there that shouldn't want to be. All right, but lumber's going up. I got another story. Microsoft raises its dividend about 10%. That's huge. Microsoft is a good, steady company, and now it's got even steadier, and it's going to get more and more people on board with it. With their raise of the dividend. That's good. Oh, I know. But don't worry about it. It's going to be in my stocks of interest. All right, let's go back into the software. I know. Let's go put Microsoft up here real quick.
It's hard to find good help these days.
Wow. MSFT. All right, so what stocks are my stocks that are my stocks of interest? Now, you'll notice I've got Nail here. Nail is for the whole industry of the builders. Nail. So I like being able to give you some ETFs to trade a whole industry, especially if that industry is moving. Why not be in the satisfaction of being a less risky on the trade. So nail DraftKings, Zoom, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Snow, which is that IPO, work, WTI. All right, those are my stocks of interest this week. Let's just go straight to the graphs. Let's go see what we like, what we don't like. All right, so nailed the home builders. All right, as a whole industry, here's the ETF for it. I like it. Look at that. Nicely went up, found a high, pulled back, found a low. 3 and 8 still look good. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not in it, look to go about 12 cents higher than this high before you pull the trigger. But you might actually want to wait until it goes above this level of resistance at 56.49. But NAIL, for those people who are listening by way of podcast, that I think is a great way to play the whole real estate industry in one ticker symbol. I like it. But if I'm going to buy it now, let's see if it can go above that high, that level of resistance of 56.49. Next stock in here. Wow, DraftKings, the news with the Giants, the stock is taking off. Now, you may say, well, can I still buy it now? If you're going to buy it now, here's the most recent high. This is a 3-month high sitting at about the high is 54.32. I'd have to go 12 cents higher than the high before I've pulled the trigger. RT looks good. Volume looks good. There's a lot of conviction behind the move. Make sure you're buying into the stock as it's rising. The 3 and the 8 looks solid. Put your order in higher than the high, about 12 cents higher than the high. Zoom. Nice pop in Zoom. Was that an earnings play? Yep. Earnings play on Zoom. Earnings was on 8:31. Look at the pop. Look at the fall. Even on the fall, look at the 3 and the 8 held. I love using the 3 and the 8 exponential moving average as a way to get in, even whether it's a long-term play or a short-term play. The 3 and the 8 do a great job. Kept you from panicking, and look at the stock's price still continuing to move higher. RT is above 1, nicely at 1.6. The stock is definitely in an uptrend. Look at NVIDIA. Excuse me, as it bought out ARM. As it bought out ARM. The news on that is not driving the stock's price higher yet. All right. I think that eventually it's going to come into play, but I don't want to wait for eventually. I want to make sure that I'm buying into the stock for the right reasons. Right now is not the right time to buy into it if you're not in it. And if you are in it and you haven't gotten out on the 3-8 cross, you do have a line in the sand sitting at 468.03, a good level of support. All right, so if you're still in it, you got a level of support up to that level. If it falls below that, you probably want to take it off the table. Microsoft, even though they raised their dividend, I'm going to put this on a 1-year graph. There's Microsoft. Everybody knows what happened with COVID. The stock's price over the last year is moving from the bottom left to the top right. A little bit of a pullback here. Let's put this on a 5-year graph. Folks, that's a great long-term stock. And now knowing that it grew its dividends by 10% gives me more of a feeling to say it's okay to be in that stock if I'm in it. Now, if I'm not in it yet, then let's wait for the stock to come to me. I'm not ready to jump on board with it yet, even with the increase in dividend. Now, if you take the stock because you like the dividend, all right, then make sure that the dividend outweighs the price decline. There's got to be a point of, you got to have a point of knowing, is the dividend going to outweigh the price decline? Because if it's not, I don't care how much of a dividend you're getting. All right, so just think about it from that perspective. I would definitely wait to see if the 3 and the 8 can cross back up on Microsoft if I'm not currently in it. All right, I love this story, but the story is not equating out to a good positive move on the stock. Next stock, Snow, brand new Snowflake, cloud-based company. CRM's on board, Warren Buffett's on board. The buzz rose the stock up big time yesterday. It started trading yesterday. And this is kind of rare that we have a stock that trades right from the IPO, right in the software, which is amazing because it was highly talked about. All right, so there's no fundamentals behind the stock yet. So this is strictly a buzz play. And this is all about the buzz. All right, look at all of that give back with the big wick at the top. The stock's price went as high as $3.19 yesterday. Pulled back. Stock price gapped down today. Red day. The 3 and the 8 are still bullish, but not a lot of data. So this was all about buzz. All right. Buzz Lightyear. What is it? To infinity and beyond. Yes. work along with Zoom. They both look a lot alike right now. I think that the collaboration is going to bring them up. Not ready to buy it yet. The 3.8 is still bearish. The stock's in the downtrend. RT is falling. Volume is falling. Not ready to pull the trigger on it yet. But the news is there. This is why we use the power of the software to make a decision. The news is there, but the software is going to help us to make a decision. Not ready to pull the trigger on either one of those. Now, oil, with that big bump up in oil, folks, this is the indicator that I've been using to say, when is it the right time to get into oil? Once this 3.8 crosses, that's your good time to get into oil. Now, notice that it did it twice here. Were they two good opportunities to make some money in oil before it fell? Before it fell, absolutely. Right now, the 3.8 are about to cross. WTI could be setting up for those oil plays. All right? So they will be quick plays. If the demand is still not there, take advantage of what's happening with oil, with the hurricane, with us depleting a lot of our oversupply. That's what that's all about.